Good day, students. Once again, in this question, I will be doing BODMAS rule under the subject called Statistics for Accountants 1, and other institution they call it Theory of Finance or Statistics. We know that BODMAS is brackets of division, multiplication, addition, then after subtraction. So we are given a mixed fraction where we are required to simplify, and it says 1 is to 3 over 8 mixed fraction minus 3 over 4 plus 3 over 2 times by 2 is to 4 over 5. Now we first have to deal with the brackets where we are trying to remove the or simplify the fraction, and we are trying to remove the brackets. How to simplify the fraction? We say 1 times 8, which is 1 times 8 equals 8. That will be plus 3. Where is the 3? The 3 that is up there. We say 1 times, which is the whole number, times by the denominator plus the numerator. In simple terms, 1 times 8 is equal to 8. 8 plus 3, that will give us 11. Therefore, now we have 11 over 8. Remember, this 11 over 8, they said in simple terms, 8 goes to 11. In other terms, how many times does 8 go to 11? 8 goes once to 11 and leaves a remainder, meaning it will be 9, 10, 11, leaves a remainder of 3 divided by 8. So now this is how they converted this whole fraction into a mixed fraction. We say minus 3 over 4, plus we are not dealing with the division yet. We first have to deal with the multiplication. 3 over 2 times. We must deal first with the mixed fraction, and we simplify this mixed fraction. So now what do? We say 2 times by 5. Don't forget that 2 by 5. In other words, we say 2 times by 5 is equal to 10, just to be very clear. 2 by 5 is equal to 10. 10 plus 4. Remember, 2 by 5 and 10 plus 4, whatever answer you get, you add the numerator. Obviously, 10 plus 4 will give us 14. Then we say 14 over 5. We keep our denominator as it is. We don't change our denominator. So now we go to the next stage. We know that this will be 14 over 5. Once again, I want to explain how this whole fraction or how this fraction was converted into a mixed fraction. They said how many 5s are in the number 14. In other words, how many times does 5 goes to 14? We have 5 plus 5, that will give us 10, and the remainder will be 4. That means 5 goes to 10, it goes 2 times and leaves the remainder of 4, then divide that by 5. That is where this fraction was converted into the above mixed fraction. So now I'm clarifying this because you'll need this at the end of the answer sometimes. Then we come to the stage number 2. Stage number 2, we still need to remove our brackets. Now, if we have a fraction minus a fraction, we need to look for the common lowest denominator. They call it common lowest multiple. That means a number where the number 4 fits and leaves no remainder, and a number where the number 8 fits and leaves no remainder. Now, first rule that you must apply is to take the lowest number of these denominators and say, okay, the lowest number is 4. Does 4 goes to 8? Yes. How many times? 2 times, and it does not leave a remainder. The minute the smaller number fits in the bigger number and leaves no remainder, then we take the bigger number as our lowest common denominator. But in the case, I want to also emphasize this, in the case where now, let us say the number here was not 4, but it was 3. We'll first have to say 3 goes to 8. Does 3 goes to 8 and leaves no remainder? The answer will be no. 3 goes to 8 2 times and leaves a remainder of 2, because 3 plus 3 will be 6 and leaves the remainder of 2. So now that means In that case, what do? You say 3 times by 8, and whatever number that you get, which in this case will be 3 by 8, which is 24. Therefore, now 24 will be our lowest common denominator. Because if you multiply to 3 by 8, 8 will fit to 24, and 3 will also fit into the number 24. So please be mindful of that. Also very important to note. Now we come to this simplification now and the removal of these brackets. 8 goes to 8 once, and 1 times 11 is equal to 11. Remember, we say 8 goes to 8 once, 1 times 11 equals 11. So now our answer becomes 11. In this case, we multiply. In the previous one, where we were dealing with the mixed fraction, we added. We said 1 goes to 8, we said 1 times 8 plus 3, if you remember previously. We said 1 times 8 plus 3. But in this case, when now we deal with the two fractions, we say 8 goes to 8 once, 1 times 11 equals 11. 4 goes to 8, 2 times 3 will give us the number 6. So we keep the sign as negative as it was minus 6. Then we say plus. Now in this case, we have to do what is called simplifying our numbers very further. If you see 3 across that number 5, we don't have a number that fits between 3 and 5 and leaves no remainder. But we can see that 14 and 2, we do have numbers that fit to these two numbers. What is this number? 2 goes to 2 once, and to 14 it goes 7 times. So now we can say 3 times 7, it will give us 21, and 1 times 5 will give us 5. So now this will be 21 over 5. Let me just verify my calculations. 3 times 7 is equal to 21, and 1 times 5 will give us 5. So now this will be our second simplified version of our calculations. And still continue with the red writing pen. Then now in this case, we are very clear that 11 minus 6 will give us 5 over 8 plus 21 over 5. We have 5 over 8 plus 21 over 5. Now again, we must look for the common lowest denominator. And remember the rule, you look for the lowest denominator and test if does it fit on the bigger denominator and leaves no remainder. Does 5 go to 8 and leaves no remainder? No, 5 goes to 8 once and leaves a remainder of 3. So what do? 8 times 5 will be our lowest common multiple. 8 times 5, it will give us the number 40, meaning our number where 8 and 5 will fit will be 40. Therefore, now we say, how many times does 8 go to 40? It goes 5 times. 5 times 5 will give us 25. So now we'll have 25 plus. Remember I said 8 goes to 40. It goes how many times? 5 times. 5 times 5, meaning we multiply with the numerator. It gives us the number 25. Then we say plus. 5 goes to 40, it will be how many times? We say 40 divided by 5, it goes 8 times. 8 times 21, then we say 8 by 21, it gives us 168. So we say plus 168. We are really now approaching the end of our calculations. So now this was another equation. We go to the third equation just to save space, making sure that I cover everything. So now in this limited space, then we go to the next one. We have to just add 25 plus 168. 25 plus 168. It gave us 193 over 40. Remember, our denominator, it is still 40. So now what do we do in this case? Do we leave this like this? No, we need to leave this at a simplified version where it will definitely be a mixed fraction. We need to know how many times does 40 go to 193. How do we do it like this when the number is so big? Very simple. We just say 193 divided by 40. It is 4 comma, that means it goes 4 times. Meaning 40 to 193, it goes 4 times and leaves the remainder that we don't know, but whatever remainder it is, we have to divide that one by the number 40. So let us check how we can simplify this in the easy way. So now if 40 to 193, it goes 4 times, that means now there will be a remainder. We can say now 40 times by 4 and see how much, meaning it is 160. The remainder will be now 160 minus 193. That is the remainder it leaves. That means it will leave a remainder of 33. Very easy now. What do? You say 193 divided by 40. It gave us 4 comma. That means it goes 4 times and leaves a remainder comma something. That is a remainder, meaning a number less than 40. Therefore, now we say, okay, how much is 4 times 40 first of all? 4 times 40 is 160, meaning that is how many times 40 goes to 193 and leaves the remainder of 193 minus 160. The difference between 193 and 160. 160, that means the remainder is 33. So now if you want to prove this one back to that number, you say 4 times 40 plus 33, meaning 4 times 40 plus 33. We multiply here and we add here. And honestly, if you say 4 times by 40, it will give us 160 plus 33. It is 193 divided by 40. So now this will be our final answer, which is the simplified version of our answer. Thank you guys. This was just very short, 12 minutes. I will be recording very soon another example on simplification. Thank you very much.